Welcome back. The presidential candidates faced off last night in their second debate. Things got awkward right away. Watch. That does look awkward. Joining me now is body language analyst and expert Tonya Reiman. Tonya, good to see you.
Good to see you. Thank you.
Okay, so let's start with when they first walked out. They did not shake hands.
No.
What does that mean? What does that say about the candidates?
Well,
body language.
obviously, it's a sign of disrespect. But what was comical about it is there was a slight intention cue on Donald Trump's part. He wasn't sure. There was a hesitation. He's like, and then realizes, no, that's not going to happen. And then you see him do like the two-step over towards the middle so that they can both stand towards the audience. So it was an awkward moment on top of being a completely disrespectful moment.
So when you look at the debate last night, what would be your most important takeaway in terms of body language?
Don't lurk over the other candidate. That was unbelievable.
The hovering.
Yeah, the hovering. I mean, for a man that size, it's almost menacing to be hanging over her that way. And the other thing about that is, you know, when one candidate, the reason you have a town hall is so that one person sits while the other person stands and gets all the attention. Yeah. So him walking around throughout the entire time took complete posture away from her. So nobody's really listening to her because they're watching him lurk and, you know, like the hunched shoulders and pacing
he
back and forth.
was standing right behind
yeah.
her. He was in her camera. He was in her camera. In TV, we find this funny because he's in her shot.
That's an SNL skit right there. That is an SNL skit.
And look at that. See how he's swaying back and forth like this? He's swaying back and forth. And then if you see his knees, they start shaking. I mean, he's a very kind of get things done, you know, excited person. So he needs to be able to release his energy. But to look like that kind of person that we want to see, you need to be able to sit down occasionally and just give it some else.
Really
he was in her shot.
Oh, yeah. He was just
on
there in her shot.
So let's argue it from this side. He had a lot riding on the debate last night. Clearly, he needed a very strong, aggressive, some might say dominant performance. Is that not indicative, maybe, of the fact that he was feeling it last night? He was kind of getting into the groove.
No, because if you watched how he walked, he was somewhat hunched over. And not that that's a bad thing for him. It shows that his posture wasn't good, so he doesn't look that powerful and strong. If he had his shoulders back a little bit more, maybe. But even so, you just don't do that because it's not seen as confident. It's seen as rude.
And
so he
also paced around his chair, and then he put his hands behind it. He kind of leaned on it.
I love this shot. This shot's hilarious.
Again, it's this XX energy. So what happens is he normally has a microphone in his hand, right? And he strokes the microphone, and we never see what he's doing from the waist down.
Right.
So we know he's rocking back and forth. But here he had the opportunity to just be like, look.
This is hilarious. When he spoke, she sat in her seat.
And that's what you're supposed to do. And the ironic thing is people were like, oh, that's because she's tired. I'm like, no, that's because that's what you're supposed to do. You sit poised and let the other person have their turn.
So the other thing that she said was Hillary Clinton said Trump was not fit to be president. I want to analyze his reaction. Look at this.
But it's not only women, and it's not only this video that raises questions about his fitness to be our president, because he has also targeted immigrants, African Americans, Latinos, people with disabilities, POWs, Muslims, and so many others.
What does Donald Trump's look?
Oh, what? The contempt, the smirk, the swaying, the rocking. Yeah, all these things show, again, he doesn't have a poker face, and a lot of people love that about him. They're like, oh, we want somebody who's authentic, who's real. And there's no doubt this man gives you everything he's feeling exactly how he's feeling it. But when you're watching the double screen and you see she does the bad thing with the smiling constantly, but him always giving these like eye rolls and the one-sided contemptuous smirks.
Well, what's funny, though, is the reason that Hillary Clinton does smile like that, because I struggle with this, because I've got resting face.
Down face.
Yeah, down is not the word that I'm thinking of, but a resting face that makes me look angry.
Right.
And so you have to proactively kind of smirk all the time so you don't look like you're bitter.
You know what?
And that's what she does, because she's trying, because that's what she's criticized for, is being angry.
And robotic.
And it's a double standard, I think, for women.
I think there's a better way to do that. And what you do is you start off with a big smile in the mirror, and it does take some practice, but you're president, so you're practicing other things. And you work your way down to a neutral face that isn't down mouth.
I've yet to achieve the neutral face.
Well, you have
usually
beautiful
I'm
face,
just
you
like
don't have to worry.
enraged or.
You said, well, I thought we were going to get from you one of the most important body languages that can help you in life.
Right. Well, this goes back to, whether it's in personal relationships or especially in business relationships, it goes back to the whole proximity factor. So, you know, a handshake is about 6 feet, right, together?
Yeah.
So that's normally culturally where we feel comfortable with someone else. But once you start getting closer to them, you'll find that they either back away or they become angry and they shut down. So if they back away and they stop listening to you. Mm-hmm. So most people keep going, oh, why is he backing away? And they take a step forward. And then you wind up waltzing through a room. So the best thing to do is learn, hey, where are you comfortable? We're shaking hands. Where are you comfortable? And I'm going to leave myself in that space where he allows comfort level to be chosen. And that's a really big thing when it comes to whether it's personal relationships or business relationships.
All right, we will leave it there. Tonya, good to see you.
Good to see you.
Thank you so much. Tonya Reiman joining us there.